All right, let's jump right in. For years now, we've been filling our homes with so-called smart devices. But there's a huge shift happening right now. Our gadgets are moving way beyond just being connected. They're starting to actually, think. But that brings up a question I bet you've asked yourself a million times. Is your smart tech really that smart? Or does it kind of feel like you spend more time managing your devices than they spend helping you? And this right here perfectly captures that feeling, right? We were promised this dream of seamless automation, a home that just works for you. But what we often get is a reality of endless tinkering, security cameras that cry wolf every time the wind blows, and gadgets that, honestly, still need us to tell them what to do. This is the exact problem that a new wave of technology is finally starting to fix. So here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we're going to look at the big picture, the AI revolution that's happening. Then we'll zoom in on a really practical example, how your own home is getting predictive. After that, we're going to go even deeper, down to the tiny microchips that are making it all possible. And finally, we'll zoom back out to see what this new electronic reality means for all of us. Okay, first up, the AI revolution arrives. The big idea here is that we're stepping into a completely new era of intelligence. And this isn't happening because of just one single breakthrough. It's more like a perfect storm of powerful forces all coming together at once. It really boils down to these three key pillars. First, you've got artificial intelligence, the AI. That's the brains of the operation. Second, you have the Internet of Things, or IoT. That's the massive network connecting all of our devices, like the body's nervous system. And third, there's a new, serious focus on sustainability, making all our tech way more energy efficient. You mix these three together, and that's when you get electronics that are genuinely intuitive. So let's see how this actually works in a place we all know inside and out, our homes. This brings us to Section 2, Your Home Gets Predictive. This is all about the shift from a world where we have to command our devices to one where our homes can actually start to anticipate our needs. This comparison just nails the difference. Think about old school security. A simple motion sensor trips, and bam, a loud generic alarm goes off. It could be your chat, it could be a tree branch, who knows? The future, though, is predictive. It uses things like facial and behavioral recognition to know who belongs and who doesn't, and it only launches a specific automated response when it's really needed. The game changer here is context. So how in the world does AI stop all those annoying false alarms? Well, for starters, it can actually see the difference between a person, a pet, and a plastic bag blowing across the yard. It learns the faces of the people who live there, your friends, the delivery person. It even starts to understand your family's daily patterns and routines. So you only get an alert when something is genuinely out of the ordinary. And the response, this is where it gets really cool. When a real threat is detected, it doesn't just buzz your phone. The whole system kicks into action. We're talking lights turning on, doors automatically locking, maybe even a voice warning being issued, and it all happens automatically. It's not just a passive alarm anymore, it's an active guardian for your home. Okay, so all that predictive smarts is amazing, but what's actually powering it? For that, we have to look under the hood at the invisible hardware that makes it all possible. Welcome to Section 3, the chip's vertical leap. The key technology here is something called 3D chip packaging. Now, the easiest way to think about this is like real estate. For decades, we built microchips like sprawling, single-story ranch houses. Everything was spread out side by side. This new method is like building a skyscraper. You stack multiple functional chips, these little things called chiplets, vertically, one on top of the other. So here's how it works in a nutshell. First, engineers design all these separate, specialized chiplets. Then they literally stack them vertically. And finally, they link them all together with these super fast vertical wires. Think of them as microscopic elevators for data. This whole vertical approach is a total game changer, and here's why. Building up instead of out brings 4 massive benefits. The first one is pretty intuitive, a much smaller footprint. By stacking components, manufacturers can pack an incredible amount of power into a tiny, tiny space. This is a huge reason why our phones keep getting slimmer and our wearables get lighter, all without losing performance. Second, you get a huge boost in performance. Think about it. With all the components stacked so closely, data has a much shorter distance to travel. That means faster communication between the parts and way less lag. For the kind of heavy lifting that real-time AI requires, that speed is absolutely critical. The third benefit is better power efficiency. You see, those shorter connections don't just mean more speed. They also mean less energy is wasted just moving data around. And for us, that translates directly into something we all want: longer battery life for our phones, our laptops, and our watches. And the final benefit, which might just be the most powerful, has a fancy name: heterogeneous integration. But think of it like building a dream team. You can mix and match different specialized chips, say a processor, some memory, and a few sensors, all into one super package. Each player on the team is the absolute best at its specific job, which optimizes the entire system in a way that was just never possible before. Okay, let's zoom back out and connect all these dots. Section 4, our new electronic reality. After all that, what does this stuff actually mean for the gadgets that you and I use every single day? So let's just boil it all down. That predictive AI we talked about, that means you get a home that actually thinks ahead and a security system that doesn't drive you crazy. And those 3D chips, they are the direct reason you're getting longer battery life, slimmer smartphones, and lighter wearables. These aren't just abstract ideas. They are tangible improvements to our daily lives. You know, this quote really captures the heart of this whole shift. It says, devices won't just follow commands anymore. Instead, they'll actively learn, predict, and manage our environments. In other words, we're moving from a world of simple tools to a world of intelligent partners. And that really leaves us with one final big question to ponder. As our devices get better and better at predicting our needs and handling all the little things for us, what are we going to do with all that time and mental energy we get back? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.